Behold, these ultra-heavy iron masses, stripped of circuit boards, ignited by preheating the combustion chambers with a gasoline blowtorch, yet harboring enough compression to tear through massive logs in a split second. Does that sound intense? These are the parameters currently redlining at the Hundeluft Mechanical Festival in Germany. Welcome to the story, Engine Test Bed. This site discards glossy supercars. Here we expose only the raw grit, the soot, and the violent torque of stationary engines. This fleet once ousted animal labor and overhauled agriculture with steely, linear strokes. No rubber tires, no plush suspension. The entire engine block is bolted directly to wooden skids or U-steel chassis, channeling every vibration directly into the workshop floor. Bolt the mounts tight. The steely sonic waves are about to hammer your eardrums. Deep within the graveyard of iron, the standout parameters belong to the stubborn Deutz stationary blocks. Unlike tractor engines designed for mobility, this configuration was cast to be anchored dead in place, serving as the centrifugal power station for an entire workshop. Carrying ultra-heavy dual flywheels and a complex network of flat belts, the Deutz block unleashes a savage torque to drive auxiliary machinery. The crankcase is cast from incredibly thick, solid iron, paired with an evaporative water cooling tower that constantly hisses to dissipate the searing, radiant heat. Even after decades of storage choked with oxidation, a simple oiling and a manual turnover will bring this iron mass back to life. The exhaust note is sharp and rhythmic, mingling with gray plumes spat from a solid cast iron manifold, locking in the eternal fatigue resistance of German engineering. Don't just stand there and watch. These blocks expose 100% of their combat-ready loading parameters to the light. Look through the lens at a precision-machined masterpiece by L. Benza Aspol, currently exhausting its output through a flat belt assembly to power a massive water pump. The water pressure is discharged violently synchronized with the centrifugal swing of the flywheel, a solution for irrigation long before the power grid existed. Each slap of the belt creates an exhilarating rhythmic frequency. Next to it, mechanical torque is stress tested to drive high RPM stone grinders or heavy-duty conveyors. Running an entire workshop with precision tolerances from a single power core, eliminating kinetic energy waste. This is a high-level blueprint of early automation. peak of complexity at this proving ground belongs to the Junkers LK50. Cast between 1934 and 1937, this diesel block harbors an incredibly rare and eccentric opposed piston design. While its rated output sits at a modest 6 horsepower, the torque it spits out shatters all conventional measurement limits. Disassembling and igniting this block is a load test that exhausts the mechanic's strength. You must preheat the combustion chamber to a glowing red with a blowtorch, then strain every muscle to spin the flywheel, using centrifugal momentum to force the two pistons toward each other. When the compression hits its peak, a blast of white smoke tears through the exhaust, and the engine bites into its RPM. The stubborn thumping of the Junkers forces modern engineers to surrender in silence. The most violent and aggressive load test in the yard is the cone log splitter. Forget the labor-intensive hand axes. This rig utilizes a massive cast steel conical screw with deep spiral grooves directly coupled to the brutal torque of the drive shaft. As the cone spins, shredding the air at high speed, the operator simply feeds a heavy log into the steel tip. It bites instantly, the screw milling straight into the core, discharging enough compression to snap dense wood fibers into kindling in a single stroke. The friction generates enough heat to scorch the flying wood chips, a total victory of mechanical pressure over human labor. From which coordinate are you measuring this load? Was there a stubborn machine that haunted your brain as a child? Drop your specs in the comments to talk shop about this eternal iron. Closing out the test bed is a machine that narrows the machining tolerances without losing an ounce of grit of the early internal combustion chainsaw. These are massive blueprints carrying ultra-heavy chassis with hand-welded steel fuel tanks, forcing the operator to stomp firmly on the frame for absolute balance. When the chain bites at full throttle, screaming through the eardrum, wood chips fly as the razor-sharp teeth grind through rough bark without missing a beat, venting a heavy scent of two-stroke exhaust directly at the operator. It marks the primitive machining milestone for all modern saws. As we close the Hundeluft 2017 session, from the massive stationary blocks to the violent log splitters and raw chainsaws, they are steely evidence of an era that squeezed every bit of mechanical compression to overhaul the natural world.